All right, a very, very, very good morning, to everybody out there, especially for myself. I know I always say very, very good morning. I try to exude the optimism. Is it Optimus Prime? Optimus Prime, optimism. Get it? Autobots, Decepticons, Optimum. The Optimus Prime. It was like the leader. I remember before the Transformers, there was a show called The Challenge of the GoBots. Leader One. It was like an F-16, something. That was the predecessor before the Transformers. The Challenge of the GoBots. If you're if you're a real OG and you know the GoBots, I mean, you get points. You get points with me. The leader one was like, they had the good guys versus the good versus bad, and in the challenge of the GoBots toys, they made GoBots, um, like Transformers. The robots turned into like a thing. So there was like leader one. I remember that was like the like gray jet, like a F-16 or something. And there was a evil. The main nemesis was a bike, and it was turned into a robot. It was called Psykill. Psykill. Pretty cool. Anyway, but that's enough about that. Just remembering, sometimes you live long enough, you remember, things from, the past, whatever. The topic of the discussion was why you or I feel like a failure. Again, I do this channel because it's really about me. So if I just put why I feel like a failure, it's like that's really what it is. It's not you. If you relate with it, it's why you feel like. But this is about me. So why I feel like a failure. All right, here we go. No tea right now. Anyway, I had some earlier. All right. Whatever you're trying to go after, like for me, and you don't see any success, and you're doing the work. The work is usually very gut grinding, whatever it is. All right, I talked about what I do in the gym, but that's not really that's we're not going there. Like repairing the credit or whatever, and trying to build a business. That's nothing selling on eBay for me right now. Um, Lowering prices, trying to lower prices to make it more attractive. And it just seems like on eBay, what they did was they raised the commission fees, and it takes longer to get the money. And it's not like where PayPal was. PayPal is really great. When somebody buys something, boom, the money's in your account. But I know why eBay's doing this. They're getting defensive. Because people are hitting and running, if you know what I mean. It's not they're fucking up their reputations and cashing out or whatever. That's why eBay came up with managed payments. But my point is, like, it's really hard because you buy something to sell, and then that 12.5%, you got to take that into account. eBay gets that, and then you're trying to sell something to make some decent money, and so then you got to sell it relatively cheap. It depends what it is, and if it doesn't sell, you're sitting and nothing's working, nothing's coming in. It's depressing. You feel like a failure. You don't. It compounds on a lot of things. When you're poor, I don't know about other people. I know about me. There's nothing more depressing than like not seeing success when you're really trying really hard. It makes you feel like a failure. You're but I guess the thing is, if you're climbing Mount Olympus, right? Mount Olympus, cute. Yeah, you can climb Mount Olympus. I'm sorry, Mount Everest. There's the peak is there. Right? But when you're trying to do business, you don't know. You don't know. You're hoping. It's all speculation. You're hoping that you can make it. You're hoping that something will work, but it's not like a roadmap laid out that it's going to work for sure. At least when you're climbing a mountain, it's possible to hit the peak. Um, I don't know why. Like you think about this. The higher up you go a mountain, it gets harder to breathe. The air gets thin. So how are you really moving towards success when it's that hard? Like I mean, I don't know why they always equate this mountain climbing to maybe the one who stands on top of the mountain. Yeah, but you gotta. So what? Like, is there a bar of gold on that? Is there like, is it capped with gold or something? I mean, what's up there? Is the money up there or something? I don't know. I know they use the analogy, but it's like, Steve Harvey said something really interesting one time. He said, you know what it feels like? He says, try to make your money and then hold on to it. Try doing 100 push-ups, right? And then after you do 100, hold it, hold the position, right? That's how hard it is to keep the money. He made a very interesting analogy. That's why so many people, they're rich, they go broke. Because what they do, they make this money and then they live this crazy high lifestyle, and then what happens is whatever business turns bad, or the something goes against them, and all that. Like I told you, this guy that lives in a castle, it's like 100,000 a year just to maintain it. The taxes, the landscaping, this, that. The money's got to come from somewhere, right? You got to lower your lifestyle. I never understood some of these people that, they were athletes and they had all this money and they bought all these condominiums, and then they said, oh, they lost it all. Well, wait a second, you still own the property, right? So it's not. I don't understand. I went broke, but you know what? I don't give a fuck about them. I care about me. So the thing is, it's. I was looking online, looking at properties in Vegas and stuff, and I talk about that. And there's like one place, it's been on there for like 27 hours, like 370 views. People look. Like if there's a deal out there, it's like, dude, these people got leverage. Investors have leverage. They can afford to grab it, like and tie up 100,000, whatever they buy it, and they have the money, they have the leverage to grab it, oh, rent it out, wait. And that's the problem when you're poor and you're on the lower thing. You're trying to find a morsel. You're trying to get something. You can't even get the loan. You can't even get a chance. And that's the problem. When you're poor, as I said, it takes leverage to make money. And these people that have a lot of investors that have a lot of leverage, they use that leverage to make, like, a sizable, decent amount, and that's how they snowball it. But when you're poor, it's that much harder. Like I'm talking about, okay, what's selling like a $500 baseball card? Okay, so what? Like you're trying to think, okay, well, if I get this card for like 325, and I know I can get maybe 585 for it, so minus eBay fees, 10%, I could walk away with 530. I spent 375, so I make $140 on top. It's like inconsequential money. Like it's, you need to make real money, and it's hard. Like I know it was that guy Grant Cardone, whatever. You got to make 10 times, 10x, 10x. Look, man, he's talking from the perspective of somebody that has tremendous leverage to do things. You got no leverage and you're poor. You think, oh, go out and find a deal, and one of these investors is going to give you a kickback. Look, they're going to box you out, man. They're going to say they might give you like a couple thousand if you're lucky, or might give you nothing. So you can't trust. Look, I know people that are very wealthy. They're incredibly cheap. They're misers. I told you that. They won't even start you. They won't even help you. Like what? They're a friend acquaintances of mine. That's just the way they are, for whatever reason. And I already told you, like being a schlep rock, how the fuck are you gonna get ahead with that? It's just ridiculous. It's like they're engineered to keep you poor. The system's like engineered to keep the poor people poor. And the people that whatever they have so much, I don't even know. I can't relate to them because I don't know them. Like they won't help you. They won't give you any advice. They won't start you. They won't. So it's like, what can you do? I mean, people I see, I call them, they hide behind these giant bushes. They have like these nice homes, and they have these giant bushes that cover that. They're huge. They cover the property. You can't even see what the house looks like. It's like they're hiding from something. They're. And I think there's this boxing place, private boxing gym, not too far from me. It's like all tinted out. You can't see in. It's like Yeah, what are people hiding from? What are they hiding? What are they ashamed of? I remember this one dance place. I remember this dance school. They had curtains. They had things closed. You know, because people are self-conscious. They don't want to be like, looked at dancing. And they don't know how to dance, or there's boxing. They don't know how to. They don't want people laughing at them. But in life, that's the way it works. Like these people that have money, they're hiding. They're hiding behind the bushes. They're hiding behind tinted windows. Somebody in their car that's got all tinted windows, you can't see them. Who are they hiding from? They're hiding from society, like they're ashamed. It really is. If you really break this down psychologically, they're ashamed of showing themselves. Really. I mean, I'm sorry. They want their privacy. Well, you know what? Welcome to the 21st century. Like, what? You're going to walk around, you walk down the sidewalk, or you're going to walk in a tinted shell so nobody sees you, kind of like make like a pine cone, but make it out of like tint, and so it just floats down the sidewalk and you're in it. You can see where you're going. Nobody can see you or anything. It's like that's see how ridiculous that sounds? That's what a lot of people are. They're like this you know I don't know. I don't get a lot of people, and especially the rich. That it really bothers. They really agitate me sometimes because it's like for whatever reason they were able to figure out, you know, how to make it, live up in the hills and do all these things. And, God forbid they would offer, give back in some way. I'm not saying a handout, but I mean, I told you about my script. I told you, how many business cards I've given out that's have my name, like, a cosmetic body shaping consultant, not a personal trainer, not one person's ever called me. Not one. Not one. Because I'm not a phony. I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not like, one of these phony, fake West Hollywood, good job, good job, one more. I'm not one of these kind of like, I didn't want to use the F word, but, like, they're just like, they're snowflakes. They're cream puffs. They're liars. They have no business. I mean, to me, like, it's like being a doctor. Like, they know their shit. There shouldn't be personal trainers out there. It shouldn't. It's nonsense. It's like they group you along with. That's why I try to create something interesting because you know they're nothing special. They're just a young person that's got a certificate that read a little manual that maybe got CPR certification, and they just got good bedside manner. That's all it is. They 99% of them have done nothing. 99.9% of them don't have a master's degree, and 99.9% of them were never a pro athlete. So they have no business, in my opinion. They're just they probably mean well. They got good bedside manner, but you know there should be like really they shouldn't be allowed. Like in my opinion, it takes away from and because then they don't pay those people. I told you how much I feel I should be making. I mean, I should be able to make like $1,000 a day. Um, with clients, 200 bucks an hour, 175 at least for what I know, at least, but it's like stupid, they don't understand, they don't get it. How much do people spend? They go out to expensive restaurants and they spend on a high end dinner, okay? How long are you there? Hour and a half, maybe, whatever, and you spend $300, whatever, it's like a high end thing because it's high end, right? Well, that's what I am. My knowledge is very, very high end. But I'm not gonna like be the when I promote myself. I don't know how to do that. I'm not. Somebody's like Gunnar Peterson, whatever. They like really good looking people. That don't mean they know shit. They don't doesn't mean nothing. Just because you got a high end sport, a boxing private place, that doesn't mean you know nothing of nothing. That means you have money. That's all that it means, and you might have a passion for it. That doesn't mean you're any good, and it doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. And they hire these fucking people. I've seen this place called Dog Pound. You know, that's the place I'm talking about. It's on Melrose and Robertson. All tinted out. You can't even see inside. I see these young people outside, beautiful, like women. I see these gorgeous women going into whatever. And this one guy was standing out there. I talked with him for a little bit, and you know, he never asked me. You know, I don't know what we were talking about. I try not to be combative when I talk with people, but because that doesn't help you get nothing anyway. But look, man, I just feel like all these people, they're threatened by my presence. They're threatened by my presence. If you see what I do in the gym, they are definitely threatened by my presence. And I'm not even that good. See how humble I am? I'm not even that good. I'm not. It's just stupid, you know? Like, and it's like all that shit adds up and you feel like a failure because you just don't see the success. It's like, you know, climbing Mount Everest and, you know, you just don't know where the peak is. You don't see nothing and you're not making nothing and you're doing all this hard ass work and you don't know how it's like the worst. I said a mountain at least you can see, but you know, when you go to college, right, they give you like, you can get a degree plan. You can see, okay, you do follow this route and you pass these classes, you get the degree, you graduate, you know, and I believe me, it's an incredible feeling when you graduate after all the work, whatever degree it is, for about a couple weeks. It's an indescribable feeling. You know, when I got on, I remember when I got even my associate's degree. When I went back to college, can you imagine? I started college like 30 years ago. 1991. Okay, that was 30 years ago. I started, and then I went on and I dropped out, and then in like '08, I went back and I got my associates. I remember like got it really quickly because you know all the work I did throughout the '90s, it all added up. So I wasn't that far away from it, but I powered it out. I took like 18 units in one summer. There was budget cuts. I remember at Los Angeles City College during the summer, no air condition in these classes. Now I remember I took Survey of Art History 101 and 102 back to back. Let me give you an idea how long this was. You know, 6 units in the same classroom. Dr. Schwab or whatever. I remember. I think the guy's name. I remember whatever. And basically, it's in it was on an auditorium type room. And so, God damn, I remember it started like at 8:30 or 9 in the morning. And the first class went for like almost 2 hours. And then a 15-minute or 20-minute break. Then the second class came in. So I was in the class. I was in there for like 4 hours. Like, you know, was it almost every day, or it was a lot. And he asked me, he goes, "You're taking 101 and 102 back to back?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Man, how do you?" He told me, he goes, "Boy, how do you do it?" And I go, "Well, how do you do it?" He goes, "Good point." I said, "Teacher, you're fucking doing it. I can do it too." 18 units in 2 months. I wound up dropping because I was at, you know, they had like a weekend college too. You could literally be there almost every day. Saturdays or Sundays, they had like instructional television things. So I said, dude, I wasn't fucking around. I was there 6 days a week. Okay? My point is that I was serious because I saw the route. I saw the route. I knew I could do it. To somebody, you know, like they show you the route to get the degree. In business, nobody shows you the route. There's no guarantee. If people don't buy your shit, where's the route? If your business doesn't work, where's the route? It doesn't work. You have to try something else. So I got the associate's degree. I remember that feeling. I had to kind of fight for it too, because they said, "Well, no, you can't transfer." I said, "No. I took the 60 units here. It's done, everything." And they said, "Well, you're not going to be able to transfer that." I said, "I don't give a fuck about transfer. I care about getting that AA degree from here. That's all that matters right now." And they gave it to me. I put up a fight. They gave it to me. And then I went back. Then I did whatever to transfer and go from there. And then it took me 6 years after that to get my bachelor's. 6 years. I didn't know what to major in. I didn't know what to go. I went to Cal State Dominguez Hills, CSUN. Oh my God, what I went through there. Couldn't find nothing. And finally, I started to learn about online learning. And they started me, I was like a super senior at Northridge. And, when I got kicked out of there because I couldn't find anything that to major in. I didn't know what to get the bachelor degree in. Finally, I found an online school that I was able to accredited that took me, it was like one class a month, so, and I had my trouble with that too. I was on probation after the first class. I remember what happened at National University. I got a D, because I wasn't internet savvy, and it goes real fast, one class a month. And I'm in a library. I'm trying to like learn how to use a computer and do my schoolwork and do all this kind of shit. And after the end of the first month, I got a D. I'm on academic probation. I got so mad. I remember I was like on borderline cursing out the professors and everything like that. And they were like, "Hey, dude, calm down, like." But here's what I didn't realize: even though I got a D after that first class, I learned I learned the system. I learned how to use the internet. I learned how to upload assignments. I learned all that shit. Next class, A, out of probation. And then a year and a quarter later, graduated. Gave me the bachelor degree, Just that first class, that turbulence, that fucking really was hard. But once I got through that and I figured out how to do it, that's it. So I got the bachelor degree. And then I did not take a break. I went right for the master's, right there. I found a school online, affordable Master of Science degree in sports administration. Even though ironically it says phys ed on it, but it's supposed to be sports administration. But you know what? Whatever. I had to fight for that thing too. That was because what happened was professors were lateraling. I had a really good, this guy, Dr. Bogdanoff, he was good. We were watching the show called Sports Night. It was on ABC, on DVD. I was watching, so it was really down to earth. I said, this is for me, like a sports administration, phys ed. I got this, with my background, if you know me by now, So, and then what happened was he left. And then this woman, she came in. I don't even want to say her name because I don't want to give her any credit. She can go to hell. She was an English major, whatever, professor, and she like killed me on this ethics of sport. I had to retake it. It was 16 weeks. I had to take it over again so to get a B. It was a core course, so you couldn't have a C, or it had to be a B. And so I passed all the classes. You just need to pass this capstone now to get the degree. I go, great. So I sign up for the capstone, and guess who's teaching it? Her. Great. So I wound up getting a C in that capstone class, and then they go, "Oh no, it ain't good enough. It ain't good." And I looked in the college catalog, the academic catalog that's like that, and I said, "You show me in that catalog where it says the C is not good in the capstone." And they show me. They couldn't show me. So I made a 3.0 with that fucking C. That C counted. So fuck you, bitch. And they gave me the master's degree. I got it. And then I remember the last thing they said, the administration, because I fought it all the way to the top, and they go, "You can be rest assured in the next college catalog, it's going to be in there." And I go, good, put it in there. Give me the fucking master's degree. So I got the master's degree. And then I said, I'm going to keep going. I want to be a fucking doctor. So I was 44 at the time. And I was looking around, and it's like, I started looking. I go, oh, wow. This is quite a work. It's quite work from after a master's to become a doctor of education, a PhD, a doctor of philosophy or whatever. I was like, whoa, let's find something I can handle here. And I was having a very difficult time finding anything that I could handle. Oh, I thought I could handle. But then I saw there's a degree on the way, actually. It's not a postmaster certificate. It's an actual degree. I said it's called the EDS degree. It's called Educational Specialist. And I said, huh. So what I could do is I could pick up this EDS degree along the way to doctor. And that's exactly what I did. I went to Liberty University online. and they let me into their EDS program of education, higher education admin. So I was like, all right, and even though I took classes online through other schools, I transferred it in, but I did all the work, got the EDS degree. It was really cool. It's like a big, it's like doctoral level. Even though people say it's not a doctorate, I know it's not a doctorate degree, but it's still doctoral level because all those courses transferred into their doctor of education program. So it's still doctor of, it's doctoral level work. So, what happened? So I went to their doctor program, but at the time, they didn't accept a lot of the units from the same program. And I said, well, wait, I did all this work. You're not accepting it? And they go, well, we're working on it. Well, you're working on it? What do you mean? So I said, this is bullshit. If any of you people out there, or you, number one, if you know how hard it is to take, the amount of work required to take university college level courses, and they don't transfer and they're no good, yeah, I got pissed. I did all that fucking work. Now they gave me the degree. It's cool, but I want to be doctor now, and they wouldn't accept a lot of that stuff. So that's what happened. So then I transferred to this other school. I mean, I don't want to give these schools any plugs because and I won't tell you the one that I'm currently at because they can go fuck themselves the hardest. If there's a big enough fucking thing to ram up their ass, they can have it because I'll tell you what happened there. Now, ironically, over the past, like once I left, Liberty, they changed the policy to allow more units in. But so why don't you go back there? Well, here's the thing. I kind of went out there with a bang. I failed. I took 2 classes. They put me on after I got the degree. I went on probation when I tried to take some more classes. So I fucked myself out of that kind of. The school that I went to, where I'm at presently, university, they accept quite a few transfer units. They're accredited. So I was like, you know what? All right, I'll give it a shot to get my doctorate degree through them. So basically, I've been there for a year and a half, right? And I passed all the classes. And you have to do a dissertation, but before the dissertation there's this comprehensive exam, so it makes you a doctor candidate. And there's a committee, you get to choose a committee hope. And I got Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato on my committee, and they killed me. They just they didn't like my first comp exam. And then the second one, they said no again. And that's when I got mad after the second one. What the fuck? I answered all the questions, did all the work. Well, you're not writing in a scholarly way. I go, you know what? That should be like minor takedown from that. It should be if you're answering the questions and you're responding, that's the bottom line. You're answering the questions. But apparently these fucking these assholes, they want scholar. They want a scholar. I said, you know what? That doesn't mean you're a good teacher just because you can fucking write in a scholarly way. I cite my sources and the reference pages, all that shit, peer review journal articles, all that shit. I did it all. 60 pages, man. 60, 6, 0, okay? And not passing, okay? And this is just the comprehensive exam. This ain't the dissertation yet. And I told him, I said, I want to write about 9/11. I want to do no, you can't. It has nothing to do with the organizational leadership. Anyway, I'm scheduled to get three chances at it. And next month I get my last chance. If you don't pass it, you're gone. They dismiss you from the school. And it's ironic because this fucking guy who runs the doctoral chair, I asked him, I said, can you tell me statistically how many people take this? What's the story? Like, what's what? So he said, well, we had 200 students take this thing recently. And like he showed me on my student emails, 150 passed the first time, and the 48 people passed the second time. 2 people, the last 2, passed the third time. And there's like 17 people that are taking it right now, whatever. And then there's 1 unknown. And guess who the unknown is? I'm the unknown, the guy that hasn't taken it the third time yet. So the pass rate's 100%. Okay. So I'm trying to use logic and saying, okay, like, hold on, wait till we're back here. Okay, we're back. Yeah. I think I'm a stable person, unstable, but 200 people, like, and I'm, the unknown, it makes me feel like, yeah, and then I question the value of it. I start to question, after I've done a year and a half, passed all the classes, did everything, 6 months of statistics, 6 months. Just because you got a doctor degree, you're a doctor of education, don't fucking guarantee you fucking shit. It gives you little bragging rights, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to work at a university, you're going to be. It doesn't guarantee. I got 4 college degrees. 4. You know how many applications I put in? Do you know how many people have reached out to me? Okay, I got to admit, one in Las Vegas, some like elementary school or whatever, they reached out to me or something, but they need more of it's a special. It's look, they're kids that have trachea tubes and they're on ventilators. They don't need it. I'm going to help them exercise. You need to be like a nurse for that or something. That's not for me. And I don't like working with kids anyway. It's dangerous, like I just don't like it. It's you got to have a credential when you work with kids for that reason. I just don't like, it's like babysitting to me. It's not for me. I commend people that can do it. It's just not me. That's why I feel like a failure. I told you, I told you basically 15 years worth of work. 15 years to get those 4 degrees. And they don't mean much. They're nice personal accomplishments. They're framed. They sit in my living room. I look at them when I'm walking by. It's an attest to all the hard work and everything, and the writing and everything, and the patience, and over the years. But I got them as personal accomplishments, not to get a job. Okay. And that's the problem. Most people go to school to get a degree to get a job or to advance in their present job. And, I will take the comp exam one last time next month. I'll do it. But, it's like I have other schools that wanted to let me in, but the problem with that is like you're going someplace else, you're going to start back, because you're in a different program now. So it's like all the work I did, it matters, but it's not like, I've seen doctoral programs in kinesiology, like 4 years. It's like I'm going to spend 4 years starting a whole new doctorate program in this. I'm already borderline and past this. I can start the dissertation right away. Even these schools, I've done so much research on this. All these schools that are degree completion pathways, doctoral, degree completion pathways, they're minimum at least 2 years. So you could be ABD, all but dissertation, and it's still going to take you. And when these schools let you in, it's going to take you 2 more years. So it's not really completion pathway. They want your money. They want you. They're trying to make it sound easy to get you in, but it's a business. They want you to pay. It's just stupid. I think the dissertation's stupid in of itself. Schools they offer capstones. I know. I've done my research on this, projects or capstones and stuff, but that shit's just irrelevant. It should be more about how you could be a professor. How you communicate through things. That's never discussed in the doctoral program. There's no public. The last public speaking course that I took was in community college, speech 101, public speaking, whatever. Teachers have to be able to, the words that come out of your mouth, you're talking to students and stuff like that. That should be more important than your scholarly writing. That don't mean shit. I can do even worse. I could pay somebody to do it for me. Okay? How about that one? What does that make you? I guarantee there's some people that I've seen, some of these people, they can't even articulate the English language properly. They got these doctor degrees. And how the fuck did you get it? You talk like you're a fucking, in elementary school or something. This one woman, I threw her off my committee. Where'd you get your degree? Timbuktu? Sorry, I just. Bullshit, How many jobs? How many universities I applied for? What kind of jobs I've applied for? Advisor, like not counselor, but success coach, advisor, academic success advisor, a part-time teaching positions, dance, baseball related, all these things. Not one has ever called me and says, hey, you're willing to relocate, here? Yeah. They won't even give you a chance, man. You got so many universities. All guys graduating, and they don't guarantee these people opportunities. That's why the world's so competitive. Because you got this many people that want to work this many jobs. And then you got this many opportunities out there. And hiring this man, I don't know. It's just not fair. It's not balanced. It's over. There's just, there's not enough opportunity out there, okay? And I told you what should happen. The government should step in and eliminate all this. These schools, number one, I think schools should be tied to the employers. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Like, I don't know, IT. I don't know a lot about information tech, but it's like, or whatever field, whatever your degree is in. And if it's in one of these general education or history, then okay, then you would get a first shot at those type of teaching jobs with those general degrees. If you got a degree in like I have the master's in phys ed sports administration, then all the sports agencies, they should be obligated to have recruiters and hiring like tons. And come on, for those people graduating with those degrees, they should be given opportunity from the, you shouldn't even have to really apply. They should be already there for you. It's the whole thing, the whole system needs to be torn. The guts need to be taken out of the thing, hardwired out. All of the machine, and it needs to be built up from the brand new, from the beginning. The whole thing needs to be restructured, redesigned, and rewired. I'm sorry, and I keep apologizing, but I say that not because I'm sorry, but because I'm agitated and passionate about like the way I think. Like you have to fight to get a job, So stupid. Companies like this Amazon, these dopes, these delivery drivers, The reason I call them dopes is because they're making him rich. Like my friend, my dopey friend, the flyer guy, he hands out flyers. That's all he does for, he's like almost 60 years old. The guy's been doing it for like 25 years, maybe more. Hustling. A hustler never has anything. Like, I don't want to become that, you know? And the problem is that, you know, a lot of these people that made it, they have connections or they started a long time ago. You know, they were able to carve out a niche somehow, you know? They were able to carve out a niche somehow. Because most people come from a family, you know, they get a good foundation to build upon. Oh, there's plenty of hard luck cases. I'm well aware of that. But, you know, I was working at my dad's video store when I was 10, 11, 12 years old till he died. I don't blame him for that. But that's my point exactly. Is that your family owns a business and you're working there, you got a chance, you know? You hit the ground running. But you don't got that. You're a hard luck case or dealt a bad hand. You need the chance to be able to draw the cards, you know, to improve your hand. Or else you're stuck with a bad hand that's going to lose. You know, a lot of people in this area, in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, that come here, are paying this high, they come from money. They come from money, or they already have, or they have something lined up that they're here. They're not just here for no reason. I just happen to be born here. And that's like, you know, don't mean anything. That's why I feel like a failure, you know. Now I'm not. Now there's a big difference. I didn't say woe is me, you know. But when you don't see success, it's like, and when I mean success, I mean dramatic change and improvement. People equate success to the M word, millionaire. I don't need to be a millionaire to be successful. That's part of it, though. Let me retract. It's part of it. It's part of it. Because millionaire implies money's not your problem, you know. So that's, you know, you gotta have, you know, cover all the bases, you know. Sorry, take my shoe, get comfortable sometimes. Feet have to breathe, you know. There's uphill fight, you know, uphill battle. Excuse me. Battle against yourself, you know. Feels like you're battling society, especially when you're not going along with the norm of society, you know. Working in a post office or doing something that you're basically exchanging your time for not life changing money. You work long enough, you get retirement, yeah. But look at what you sacrificed, you know. And they don't have, you know, like it's not like they're limited in their hiring process. I went to their website, looked around, local post office, looked at these things. hard as fuck to get anything. They won't give. Some of those mail carriers, they work like mules. Those people, I've seen them. I have no problem with working like a mule. But for myself, though, the big difference, huge, because when you're doing it for yourself, you reap all the rewards, not somebody else. Not like my friend that does the flyers, making crumbs for the guy that runs a club or whatever. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And then you try to get creative, and you say, okay, well maybe cryptocurrency or something. And then I start watching them. I started looking at that, and I'm thinking, you don't know. It's gambling. It's like being teased in a way, not made fun of. I mean, if you live in an affluent area and you're not like affluent, or you live close to it, or you visit it, and you're looking at all the people that have and you don't, it's like dangling a steak in front of a hungry lion. And the lions in behind they can't get it. It's so mean. Like I have my own views on. I have my own views. I have one view. No, I have my own perspective on this. That I think that you shouldn't be allowed in an area that you have no business in. For two reasons: for your own sake, and for the safety of the people that live there. Yeah, you can call it Nazi-esque, you can call it socialist, you call it whatever you want. But that's how I think. If you have no business, you're not visiting somebody, or you're not there for any reason, what are you doing there? There's a lot of criminals. That's what they do. They case an area. The no gooders. Why are they there? They don't know anybody. They have no business being there. Now in Bel Air, they have like was it security that patrols around the ADT and stuff because there's people hanging around. Somebody hanging around has no business there. What's he doing there? There's women too that are uh, garbage of the earth too. So he or she, whoever it is, if they have no business and they're up to bad intentions, they're garbage too. They have no business being there. No, I think it was at Beverly Park, Mulholland, Beverly Park. Those homes. There's a guard hut there. There's a defense. You can't get in unless you're invited or visiting somebody. And do you know why? Because it's ultra exclusive. Some of the wealthiest people in LA live in there. They're protected. So like I'm walking around, I'm seeing some of these people like kind of look questionable, like they're just kind of standing around waiting. I like how they act like they're busy sometimes. When I look in, they're on the phone. That's a fool's gimmick usually. I'm sorry, like it's a ploy usually. I'm sorry. I see behind the curtain, okay? Most people don't. They're fooled so easily. I'm not. You know, I mean, of course, I'm not like the all-knowing. I'm not the Karnak or whatever, all the all-knowing Almighty. But let me tell you something. I'm pretty good at, like, sensing things. My life's like, observations, especially late at night. If some guy's like hanging around in a dark area, kind of like, what are you doing? If you're not waiting, you're waiting for someone. Why are you standing out there? You could sincerely be waiting for somebody, but look, I mean, I was chased at gunpoint. I'm not going to share the story. I was actually, yeah, accosted at knife point and gunpoint. I've had both. Okay, I'm still here. And because I wasn't aware like I am now. But when you're not aware, you're a potential target. It's called a mark. And especially in an affluent area. The low lifes go there because they think, oh, they have money. Somebody's walking around, they got money. Yeah. Well, how many people carry money anymore? They carry credit cards. So that's why that those type of violent crimes have gone down over the years. But I've watched, up the block, there's a condominium complex, um, that security guard, that incompetent security guard. They finally let him go. He's lives in the units. That he showed me a video of these three or four opportunists. These thugs, these thugs. These women were going in their condo building. They were at the front door, not the front door, but the lobby door. Um, and they had these giant bags, these Gucci bags, real bright white ones. And these opportunists, I mean, I saw the video. It looked like monkeys, like chimpanzees. The way that they pulled the fucking bags from these ladies, and one of the ladies fell on the ground, and then those guys, they ran. I saw the video of it. And one of the women, she had like $2,500 in her bag because she wanted a down payment to help her son buy a car or something like that. So it's just amazing. And that incompetent security guard, he can't even walk. How are you gonna stop these young hoodlums that can fucking run like faster than faster than lightning? Like, no, you can't. Yes, in an affluent area in Beverly Hills, in West Hollywood, whatever. Yes. Anyway, it's never justified. I don't care how broke or anything they are. I don't care how hungry you are. You never take advantage of somebody like hostilely or whatever. No, you go get food stamps or something if you have to. No fucking way. But there's rotten people out there. There's rotten people, and it's my job to watch my back. Never be victimized again. And if they try, they're sticking their fucking hand in the circular saw, is what they're doing. They're in for quite a surprise. That's confidence. Your life. Don't let anybody fucking try to do anything to you, take advantage of you, bully you around. anything. No. Your life, your freedom, your movie. You're the star. That's why I like Las Vegas. You could go wherever 24 hours, you know. Here in LA, you go someplace 3 in the morning and people think you're walking around, you're some gay hustler or something like that. That's what they think. Anyway, that's what I think they think. Based on cars trying to like slow down and try to talk to people, guys trying to talk to me when I'm minding my own business, walking over to my friend's house, or going, to the market, or going to the after hour club to try to look at women if it's open. They are assuming, but it's not my job to educate all of them and tell them, well, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm straight. Like, go around every time. I never get to where I need to go. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody, okay? You don't have to explain yourself why you do things differently to fucking anybody, okay? Except if the police ask you if it's warranted. If it's warranted, if the police, like, they stop, you're walking and they stop you, hey, sir, can I? And if it's nothing, if you're not, what's going on, officer? Like, confidently, what can I do for you? Can we see some ID? What is this? Are you charging me with something? What is this in regards to? You don't have to show them anything, okay? I looked up the law. You don't need to see his identification. I'm allowed to walk this is not Nazi Germany. I can go walk during whenever I want, wherever I want. I'm not on private property. I'm going someplace. I need my exercise. Thank you for your service. I always, and I say it like directly, thank you for your service. Have a good day. Am I free to go? Hold your ground against those guys. I didn't say, but hold your ground against them. If they impede your freedom, okay? You're allowed to walk whenever you want, whatever time you want. And you could go where you want as long as it's legal. It's like therapeutic. Sometimes walking late at night or whatever, it's therapeutic. Because there's no cars traveling, you can think you're moving your body. But it's not socially accepted. I pride myself on being different. But it comes with a price. It comes with a price. You don't, you want to go through life being a sheep? You could do that too, You may live 100 years, yeah, but you never be nothing. You never took any chances. You never did nothing. You never will be. I forget, I heard that on the radio, something about, just never stuck their neck out there, never took, I can't do that's not me. There's something about not being bold makes you a pussy. Not speaking up for yourself makes you a fucking a pussy. I didn't say, go out there and be bossy and everything like that. But it's like the Spartan warrior. They hold their ground. That phalanx, they hold their ground. Because it's done out of protection. They're not going out there to fucking, the only reason they said, remember in 300, what Leonidas says? This is, he tells the guys, before the millions, they're coming. The 300 goes, this is where we stand. This is where we fight. And this is where they die, okay?
They didn't. Those Spartan guys did not charge them. They were holding the ground. They're holding the phalanx. They're holding the barrier. They're protecting their own land, their own city that's behind them, from being conquered. And that's all I'm asking, like, to do in life. Hold your ground. Don't let people fucking step over you. That's what they'll do. I've seen authority. That's what they do. They're trained to do that. They're not supposed to, though. So when you stand up for yourself, when law enforcement, whatever, tries to like bully you around, then it's like it's kind of like you're getting on your hands and knees, like, yes, yes, SS, yes, Nazi, yes. No, they actually work for you. They're paramilitary. So you can answer them the same direct and straightforward questions. They don't need to see your identification. If it's not what is this in regards to? You're allowed to ask questions. I'm walking. I've had them put the light on me. It seems to be the problem. How can I help you? Well, you're acting a little. I act. This is how I am. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Is there anything else? Have a nice day. Sorry, I'm not acting the way you want me to act. I'm very direct and straightforward. You don't even have to explain it to them. What you do is you get right to the bottom line. Get to the bottom line. Get to the bottom line. Bothering you? You're just walking around? What is this? Fucking, what? In Tijuana, I've had that. This is not Tijuana. It's still the United States of America. We have a thing called freedom here. And if somebody infringes on that and you don't stand up for yourself, you're a sheep and you're a fucking pussy. That's what they want you to be. They want you to be a sheep and a pussy, believe me. The sheep and pussies are easily controlled. They don't want you different. They don't want you walking around at a certain time. What does that mean? They don't want you to have certain freedoms then. Kind of like living in government housing. You live under housing authority. That's how they control poor people. Poor people have very little power, okay? They actually have none. They have no status. They have no money. And they have no power. They're generally uneducated. There are exceptions. There's plenty of money out there. The problem is most of it is in the hands of a select few. Because those select few have tremendous power and leverage. So they're able to get it. They're able to attract it. I'm still trying to figure out how to get what I call a relatively small amount
to try to better my life. It's, you know, how can you get it if you're, you know, you're trying in business, no one's buying anything. You're trying to get the doctorate degree, it ain't, you know, even that, it doesn't guarantee you fucking nothing. How can you get it if you don't get opportunity? Because there's not enough opportunities out there. I already covered this.
Who's going to hire somebody like me that's like this straightforward and direct about things? Nobody. What, an employer, somebody like me that wants a piece of the company or something like that? I'm not going to be your bitch. So in a sense, I'm unemployable. Unless I figure out something for myself.
It's tough. That's why I feel like a failure, you know? But I just keep fighting. Fail forward, you know? Keep failing forward. Keep saying that. Keep saying it over and over and over again. Because if you're hard headed like me, society can infect your thinking in a negative way. Like that guy that I mentioned, who was positive comment that he told me, trying to tell me my strike's good enough. Good enough? Dude has no fucking idea how strong you have to be to defend yourself. Good enough. A bag doesn't, you know, doesn't fucking strike back. A bag, you know, there's people that have bodies, leverage. You have to know everything of everything. Some people are satisfied with so little, you know? And that's why I didn't respond to his positive thing. I just kept working. You know, I remember like I did dance competitions, and the real big ones, the big ones, when there's money involved, the dudes show up, the real good talent, okay? I've seen them all. Just about. If I haven't seen them on TV, I've met them in person. So it's like, you know, let's say you're good, right? You go to a nightclub or you go to the older people thing, and there's nobody there, you know. So like, you know, I do my thing, but like, wow, you're really good. Yeah, oh thanks. Okay, whatever. Then you go to the, like, you know, one of these big events, then you see what really good is. I get blown away, okay? Blown away. You want to see what really good is? Look up like Salah. He's from France, okay? Salah. This dancer, a comedian, but a dancer. That's really, really, really fucking good, okay? It might be the best. It's like the modern day Charlie Chaplin. If Charlie Chaplin was, you know, alive today, that's what he would be. That kind of level. He's like the Michael Jordan of dance, this Salah guy, okay? I've seen them all. Les Twins, whatever. They're all right. You know, I don't care for their style and everything. It would be nothing if they didn't have one of them bouncing off. They weren't brothers bouncing off each other. Their talent. That Salah guy, he's from there too. Unfucking believable. That guy would make me look like a fucking nothing. Okay, I met him once too. He was visiting. Fucking best there is, you know. out compliments like that. I don't say shit like that. You know, I don't give out the best. Yeah, the best. Period. The best. It's like Bruce Lee. He's regarded as undeniably the best of all time. Anyway. All right. Well, anyway, I appreciate that. You know, we got to deal on a kind of the somber topic of failure, which it's always a tough one. But you know, what is it saying? It doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. You know. I will leave you with one thing. I'm gonna read this poem. Actually, I'm not gonna read it now, but I'm gonna look it up. So I'm gonna read it when I get off the air. It's by somebody. Her name is Barbara Frost. It's called "The Road Not Taken." I heard it's on the radio. They said look it up. So I'm gonna give that a shot. You know, and maybe come away with something. Um, it's like I'm not depressed. You know, there's a difference. When you say failure, you're usually thinking of um, I'm putting on like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, right? Putting on "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day. Won't you be? Won't you be my neighbor?" Hello, everyone out there. Isn't it great to be a neighbor? Oh, I'm sure it is. Everybody loves their neighbor, and I love you. And today is a very special day. All right, there's enough of that. But yeah, Fred Rogers was that's quite that's it's transcended generations. I mean, everybody. I don't care who you are, you know who Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is. It's some people are not familiar with Captain Kangaroo, shows like Romper Room, Sesame Street is a universal thing too, but Mr. Rogers is like Bob Ross, the painter. So, but Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is like just come on, you know. And what's his name? Did a movie. I almost said Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks. And I remember watching a preview for this, and the preview is quite disturbing. It made this guy out to be like a pedophile, a weirdo, or something like that. The preview. I didn't see the movie, but it's like they were using some type of trickery to make this guy look like he had some type of mental psychosis or something, like he was suffering from depression or something weird wrong with that guy. I remember and I thought about this and I said, what the fuck are they doing? I said, they know exactly what they're doing. What they're doing is they're taking some guy, they're making a movie. And you have to remember this. It wasn't a documentary. It's a movie, and to gain your attention, they have to do some things that are weird and not true. And the only way to get your attention is by doing weird shit like that. And that's why they made that preview out for him to be some type of person that they can't figure out. He didn't come out dangerous, but kind of like a weird, like something mentally wrong with him, creepy. I don't know. I remember seeing that preview. It was like, I know what that. See, they don't fool me. They don't fool me because I see behind the curtain. They fool most people because they're looking at the screen. I go behind the screen. I go behind the curtain. So you're not fooling me, okay? You're not fooling me about COVID. You're not fooling me about the entertainment business. You're not fooling me about 9/11, okay?
And you're not fooling me about Pizzagate. You're not fooling me about adrenochrome. You're not fooling me about anything. Those are all topics worth addressing. If they're real, if they're not, let's find out. Let's expose everything if we can. And let's all learn together. Let's all educate ourselves. And let's take a peek behind the curtain of what really goes on. That's how you inform yourself. That's how you educate yourself. You don't just be a sheep, and you don't live with your head in the sand. Instead of looking at dumb things, what they show you on CNN, the Tic Tacs flying around. What is it? What is it? That's not important. Doesn't mean what they're showing you doesn't matter, okay? Because you can't figure out what it is. It's not that simple. It could be, it might not be. What's the difference? Why are you putting that? So why are you addressing? What do you expect to gain from that? It's like Einstein's equation, E equals mc squared, right? But they tell you that, but you don't understand everything that led up to get that, to make it that equation. So you want the answer, but you don't want to do all the work that leads to the problem, to that answer. And that's the problem with what they're showing you, the Navy footage or whatever, those fighter jets or whatever. Okay? Because they're talking to you like you're fucking stupid. All right? A whole fleet of them. Whole fleet of them. Whole fleet of what? What is a fleet of what? How do you know that constitutes a fleet? You know what is even there? You're tracked by your radar. And then gone. So you think it's there and then it's gone? Vanished. It vanished? You fucking idiots. What do you mean vanished? You think something has vanished. You think something appears. You're not understanding of fucking anything. First off, you don't even know what you're looking at, number one. Okay? That's the most important thing to understand with that. You don't even know what you're looking at. Okay? And then it vanishes. Who says it vanished? Because you can't see it with your fucking eye. Or it's not picked up by the radar thing. How do you know it doesn't have a cloaking capability? Okay? How do you know that it did not go back to its other dimension? Or maybe whatever it peeked through. Okay? Let me give you an example. Sorry, no. If it's something that's, going through like this, right? It's peeking through. And then it comes back out. It comes back out. It's peeking through. and then it comes back out. So it was never here to begin with. It didn't go through. There's a big difference between something like this that goes through and then comes out, or something that might appear to look like it's coming through. Sorry, I can't, paper. And then going back out. It didn't cut. How do you know it's here? Because it vanished. So you don't even know. Because you don't even know what it is. You're thinking you think you know what it is. You're calling it a ship from an extraterrestrial, something like that. Because that's the only thing in your mind that you can think of. You don't know anything of anything. It could be one of a million things. One of a million things. It could be a buoy of some kind. A warning buoy, you don't know. It could be a satellite of their, they sent it out from their dimension to look at something and to go back to their time. Might have peeked out and went back in. You don't know of anything of anything. And that's if it's not, another dimension. Did you ever think, why there? What is it observing? What is it, looking at a Navy ship or something? What are they doing? Why? You ever think it could be a projection from some type of satellite or something like that? From China or Russia? Like a satellite, like a projection. And make it look like it's going angles and stuff like that. You ever think it could be something like that? It's not even what you think you're seeing. They have advanced propulsion technology. What? Not even thinking of anything. It went in the water. Did it make a splash? We don't know. The Navy has submarines, right? How come it wasn't tracked underwater? Because it's bullshit, okay? It's bullshit. Do you ever think what they show you is to test a reaction? Could be all bullshit. Might be, who knows? But I'm looking behind the curtain. I'm trying to see trying to understand the reason, like why things are how they're addressed and how it's explained to you. And it's explained to you like you're an idiot. Now, I did hear a woman talk on YouTube. She's a scientist. She did that analogy with the paper through the thing. Talking about, well, if they're coming from other dimensions, if they're coming, there's a being on that ship. There's somebody piloting it. They got their hand on the wheel or something. A gray. There's a whole fleet of them. I told you, fire is something that shows up that is unexplained. You're supposed to defend. That means fire upon, okay? To see what would happen. It was never brought up once. No call into base saying, hey, Commander, it's things. What do we do? Singer, it's doing weird things. What do we do? They're in our vicinity. They're not supposed to be. There's no commercial airliner flying by right over a warship. It's off limits. It's not. It's private airspace. It's military space. You're going into their thing. There's definitely no foreign powers flying their fucking ship over a military aircraft carrier destroyer. They get shot down. And that's what should have happened. They should open fire on that thing to see the reaction result. We would have found out what it is. We'd have had a better idea. So there's shit that goes on that, believe me, they know what it is. Okay? They know what it is. They have a pretty good idea. If you ever seen Philadelphia Experiment or something like that, I'm not saying for sure that I didn't say that's what it is. But, the problem is they're just talking to you like you're stupid. They're talking to you like you're a fucking idiot. And they're not going to give you the answer you want to hear. Stupid, Most people can't think anyway. They're not educated. They don't know. I told you, it's like teaching an orangutan physics. You give the orangutan, give them the banana. That they know. And how to monkey around, on the things. And you're not going to teach the orangutan physics, okay? And that's when they show you that, more than likely, they're trying to teach you physics. And you're an orangutan, Beyond your whatever. Remember in Star Trek 6?
A Klingon vertebrate cannot fire when she is cloaked.
Ah, Mr. Scott, but this one can. I'm not saying it's a cloaking device. I'm not saying. Could be. Who knows? Believe me, when I open up about 9/11, I'm going to throw out theories that you've never even heard of before. Okay? Theories that the trust movement, that the truthers never even talk about. You know why? You know why the truthers don't talk about the theories that they don't really, they talk about some, but they don't talk about the shit that, what I consider common sense. Because they're too emotionally tied to it. They're too angry. Angry is not how you make informed, intelligent decisions. That's not how that's how people react. He's angry. That's not, getting to let's break this thing down. Let's try to figure this thing out. It's like taking a Rubik's Cube and getting mad. Can you solve a Rubik's Cube just because you're angry? If you know the algorithm. If you know the algorithm, it can be solved a number of ways. But if you don't know the algorithm, you're not going to solve it. There's 80, 60, or 40 quintillion combinations. It's not going to happen. But if you know the algorithm, it's an 8 or 9 step process, no matter how fucked up the cube is. It can be solved. And it can be solved very quickly if you're good. What's the point? The point is that these people don't know the algorithm. You don't know the algorithm for what you're seeing on that show, where they're showing the Tic Tacs, or whatever you think you're seeing. Woo-hoo. You don't know the algorithm for COVID. And you definitely don't know the algorithm about 9/11. We'll work on those things. We'll try. Poke holes in that curtain. We'll listen to everybody. We'll put it all together so that we can solve the cube. You just have to believe that there's an algorithm in everything. Without that, you're a sheep trying to. I got a side. You're wasting your time. You don't know. You're not getting any information. The television's not telling you how to solve the fucking cube. The television's like just showing you the cube fucked up. And they're not telling you why it's fucked up and how it got fucked up. Anyway, that's all for now. We will keep it going. Fail forward, my friends. Keep failing. Keep failing. I know it's like saying keep getting punched in the face, but believe me, the failure is hopefully all worth it.